Jyotindranath Mukherjee was born in December 1880 in Nodia district of Bengal. He belonged to an educated and socially well-connected family. As a young man, he was a naturally gifted sportsman and a daredevil. In 1906, he and his friends were walking through the jungle near his village when they were attacked by a Royal Bengal tiger. Rather than run away, he decided to wrestle the tiger with his bare hands, and even managed to kill it with a small knife he happened to be carrying. Although badly injured, he survived and earned himself the nickname Bagha Jatin or Tiger Jatin. Bagha Jatin came in contact with Aurobindo Ghosh in 1903 and soon became part of Anushilan Samiti network. As he was frequently in Darjeeling as part of his job as a government clerk, he was given the role of organizing units in North Bengal. After the original Anushilan Samiti became leaderless following the Alipur bomb trials, the movement broke up into many small units, which often worked at cross purposes. Bagha Jatin painstakingly brought together a core team, the Jugantar Group, and built a working relationship with some of the better Anushilan Samiti units, such as the ones in Dhaka, Borishal, and Chandanagar. He also orchestrated a number of targeted killings of police officers and their collaborators. The authorities suspected him of links with the revolutionaries, sacked him from his government job, and arrested him, but they did not initially work out that he was the mastermind. The meeting in Dakshineshwar with Rajbihari in 1913 drew Baghajatin into the Ghadarite plan of triggering a wider rebellion in the country. However, after the police raids and arrests in Punjab and the United Provinces, his was the only cohesive group left standing by mid-1915. The Germans were in touch with the Jugantar leadership through the Berlin India Committee. The failure of the Siam scheme had been a setback, but the Germans decided that they would still go ahead with the plan to land a large number of arms on the east coast of India. The Jugantar network began to clandestinely drill and train youth across Bengal, in many cases using the traditional akharas. One of the local organizers in the Nodia-Murshidabad belt was a 16-year-old Nolilaksha Sannal. His elder brother Onadikanto had long been part of the Anushilan Samiti. The plan was to land a large consignment of arms on the coast of Bengal and Orissa in August-September 1915. Elaborate arrangements were made to distribute and disperse the guns to the drilled units across Bengal. The Rhoda episode presumably provided a template for how this could be done. These armed guerrillas were to converge on Calcutta on Christmas Day, when senior British officials traditionally attended a lunch and a ball hosted by the Viceroy. Calcutta was still the effective headquarters as the new capital of New Delhi was still being built. With the top colonial leadership trapped in a city that they no longer controlled, it was hoped that a wider rebellion would be triggered. With this plan in mind, Baghajatin scouted the coast and decided on two landing spots, one near Balasore on the Odisha coast and one in Raimangal, a rivulet in the Sundarbans in Bengal. Feelers were sent out to engage with the Rajput troops then stationed at Fort William, Calcutta. Dynamite was procured for blowing up railway bridges to delay the arrival of relief troops. In early 1915, Group Agency in New York purchased a large consignment of arms under instruction from Franz von Papen, the military attaché of the German embassy in Washington, D.C. It included 30,000 rifles and 400 rounds of ammunition per rifle. It was not a small consignment. These were loaded on a chartered ship, Annie Larsen, which was to transfer the cargo to another ship, SS Maverick, off Socorro Island in the Pacific. SS Maverick was supposed to take the shipment through neutral Dutch-controlled waters before entering the Bay of Bengal. Bagha Jatin sent Narendranath Bhattacharya to Batavia, now Jakarta, to coordinate the arms drop. Ramchandra, the most senior Ghadarite leader left in North America, arranged for 5 trusted men led by Mangu Ram to head to Batavia disguised as Persian waiters. Unfortunately, when Annie Larsen arrived at the appointed place for the rendezvous, SS Maverick was not there. The captain waited for 3 weeks before sailing back to the United States, where its suspicious cargo was impounded by customs. When Maverick finally arrived a few days later, it found that Annie Larsen and its precious cargo had already left. Thus, the whole elaborate plan fell apart because of a coordination error. This is just another example of how the path of history can shift due to the smallest of reasons. Meanwhile, Bagha Jatin was waiting for SS Maverick near Balasore. The revolutionaries had prepared a hideout, including a small house outside a village. Unknown to him, not only was the arms consignment lost, British intelligence had a sound sense of the contours of the plan by the beginning of September 1915. Charles Tigard, widely regarded as the best anti-insurgency intelligence officer in the empire, took over the case in Calcutta. Multiple police raids were carried out in Bengal, and a lead brought them to Odisha. On the evening of 6 September, Bagha Jatin received information from a local supporter that a large police contingent had arrived in the vicinity. He immediately realized that they were looking for him. He and his 4 companions picked up their Mausers and ammunition and hid in the surrounding countryside. Tired and hungry, they crossed the Buribalam river on the morning of 9 September. Unfortunately, the villagers mistook them for dacoits and informed the police. Bagha Jatin and his comrades barricaded themselves behind an ant hill which stood near Buribalam embankment. There was a fierce exchange of fire, at the end of which Chittopriya Raychaudhuri was dead, and Bagha Jatin and Jyotish Pal were seriously injured. Bagha Jatin died in hospital. Naren Dasgupta and Manoranjan Sengupta were sentenced to death, and Jyotish, who had recovered, was sentenced to transportation to Andaman for 14 years. Thus ended one of the most heroic episodes in the history of the armed revolutionary movement in Bengal.